It's a candy factory. So many machines. So many buttons.
Levers, buttons, levers, buttons, levers, buttons.
Under the rainbow, I will spin the perfect home for my best friend.
Wow. Rainbow food? This place has everything.
You know her as the Grammy-winning singer Alessia Cara, but now she is Jane in the new Netflix film, The Willoughbys. It's her first ever acting role, and I spoke to Alessia about that experience and so much more, including how self-isolation is affecting her upcoming music. Take a look. The Willoughbys also stars, among other people, Maya Rudolph, Will Forte, Ricky Gervais, Martin Short. Incredible voice cast. I know with an animated movie, you don't usually interact. When you get the call and it's official, you're in the movie, you're doing it, and then you find out who the rest of the cast is. I mean, what was that moment like for you, just to be a part of, really spectacular talent here?
It was so cool. It's so crazy to be in that company, like you just don't ever think you'll ever be a peer of these people, let alone like be in the same project as them. But I'm such a huge fan, especially of Maya. I'm like, she's one of my favorite actresses, and so like getting to even have scenes with her and interact with her in that way was so much fun.
Acting in general, is that something that you would like to do if you moving forward?
Maybe, I've always loved theater and drama in school. Like I was always in drama class and did all the little musicals and performances and stuff. So I've always been into it. I think my thing is that I'm very camera shy, which is why animated movies work perfect for me because I don't have to be on camera.
I think about like music videos and things like that. When you're shooting videos and things, do you get nervous?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I even to do a photo shoot, especially where you have to like smize and wear all these. I never know what to do with my body. I'm like very bad at photo shoots. I'm getting better, but on the inside, it's terrifying.
So look, everything's kind of on hold with coronavirus, and I'm certain that also affects new music. But looking ahead for you, what does new music look like? What does the time frame look like for that?
I guess I don't necessarily have a time frame anymore. I was supposed to travel to start officially writing my next record, but obviously that didn't happen. So I've been writing on my own anyways and kind of moving forward with the creative process just on my own regardless. So that's where it's at right now, just creating despite everything, and hopefully I'll get the chance to properly record once this is all done, but I have no idea when that'll be.
Does having the downtime help you get inspiration, or does it kind of hinder it?
I guess it's a bit of both. It depends on the day. I tend to be like a very melancholic person sometimes, and so the thought of sitting with myself for too long is scary, which is why I need to be out and doing things. But I think it's come in handy a bit because I've had the chance to reflect a lot more on my thoughts and feelings, and it in turn has like actually inspired some songs because you're just forced to think and forced to figure things out, and that in itself has like so much to unpack. So it's kind of been oddly very helpful to be home with.
Yeah. So does that mean that maybe the direction of the new music would be kind of a melancholy vibe, or?
Maybe. I always like to have a balance because I don't want to like make people too sad, but there's definitely stuff in there. I think I'm growing up and figuring things out about myself that aren't always the easiest to confront, and so there's a lot of that for sure. But hopefully I can mix it in with some fun stuff too.
A lot of fans know, obviously every fan knows, you spent 2019 on tour with Shawn Mendes as his opening act. I'm sure that had to be an incredible experience. What was your favorite thing to do with Shawn when you guys were on the road?
Well, thankfully he had his best friend on the road, and so did I. So
oh, nice.
We were all like the same age group, so it was so perfect. And his videographer is the same age, so we just had this like friend group, and just being stupid was our favorite thing. We just like joked around all day and just ran around in the streets of Europe, and it was so much fun just to have that, like those people your age.
When you look back on that period, what did you learn as an artist as you were touring with Shawn?
He is great with like self-care and like meditation and taking care of your voice, and I am so not that way. So watching him and seeing how seriously he takes everything in the best way was so good for me, because it was like, okay, I need to start taking care of myself too, and like really warming up and just like taking care of myself, because it's so easy to get caught up in the anxiety of things, and he's very like, he's that way too, but he also knows how to keep it like zen, which was really, really helpful, because I learned a lot from that. So that was probably the biggest thing I took, was like how to chill out, how to take care of yourself, and put things in mind.
What is your number one tip for self-care, especially during isolation? Do you have anything that you do?
Yeah, well, now I've been trying to meditate a lot more. I know I used to think that that was like so weird of a thing. I'm like, I don't really know if I would know how to meditate, but it actually just comes down to breathing. It's really, really helpful because I have a lot of anxiety. So the best thing for me is just controlling my breathing, and also even things like writing things down, writing down your feelings. I keep a journal with me, whether it's on my laptop or my physical journal, and I always write down my feelings and try to stay present, and that's always helpful for me too when your mind is like running.
Alessia Cara won the Grammy for Best New Artist in 2018, so I asked her if she felt a sense of community with other artists who have nabbed that same award, particularly Dua Lipa and Billie Eilish, who won the next 2 years respectively. Here's what she had to say.
I mean, in a sense, yeah. Well, especially something like Dua Lipa, because I got to hand off the award that I won the year before to her, which was really cool. So that felt really nice. I guess when you like share the same category, but I don't know. I feel like I just share like a sense of unity with artists in general, like young artists, especially young girls right now, because I feel like we just all go through the same things, and I just relate to them. You know, it's we live in a world where there's that fourth wall is sort of broken, and so you can really just relate to people easier because you kind of know what everyone's going through, and I don't know. I feel like I just feel connected regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is post-Grammy life different as an artist? Do you feel more pressure or you know what I mean? Is there something that comes along with that win that changes things?
I guess in the sense that there are a lot of opinions about that, which can make it terrifying to win another one. Like, I feel like now, I know this isn't the right mentality to have, but I'm like terrified to win another one because of how many eyeballs are on you when you do win. It's like, you know, so many people are like, oh, you don't deserve to win or whatever. So it can be like kind of scary because you're like, whoa, now all these new eyes are on me and they have things to say. But I mean, I try not to think of that. I try not to think of the pressures or the eyeballs and just like focus on what I'm doing and not worry about the accolades afterwards.
Is there anything else, maybe something that fans would be surprised to learn about you?
I don't know. Let me ask my mom. She's here. Ma, do you know something interesting about me that people don't know? I can't think of something. Oh, like synesthesia? Well, some people know that. It's actually like a disorder, sort of, where like two senses in your brain like link and they can't detach. So a lot of people know that I have this synesthesia where I can see colors with sound, which is really helpful in my music. But a lot of people don't know that I also have the type of synesthesia that associates like gender with letters and numbers, which is very strange, and colors with letters and numbers. So like, for example, the letter A is a girl in my head and she's brown, and then B is blue and it's a boy, and like A and B are like friends. It's very strange. I sound like loopy. I know.
Does this go all the way through the alphabet?
It's real, yeah. Like, and numbers as well. Days of the week are genders.
Wait, okay, so what's Monday?
Monday is a boy, and then Wednesday is an older lady. This sounds so strange.
Do you see them in your head?
I do. I see the word laid out in their color. Like Wednesday is like a dark brown, sort of like orangey brown, and then it's an old, like I associate it with an old woman. It's very strange.
Wow.
Like
Hey,
I know it sounds fake,
no,
but I promise you, Stu, you can Google it.
actually, I'll tell you that it's so specific that and bizarre that it has to be real. Like that.
I tell you it is. I would not lie about something like this. It's
And
crazy.
probably the most surprising answer I've had in an interview that I can think of. And I do a lot of interviews. And remember, you can watch Alessia Cara as the voice of Jane in The Willoughbys. It's streaming now on Netflix.